Toyota loves diesel engines, which can be found around the world in the Land Cruiser, Hilux, Prado, and so many more. Sadly, for diesel lovers in America, Toyota has kept us yearning for the forbidden fruit. But now, more than ever, a Toyota diesel could see the light of day here stateside. We have a lot of things to sift through today. We're over at Cars Guide in Australia, and they have some waftings, some aromas of diesel, and a new generation of diesel engines made it to hybrids. We'll get into that. Of course, we'll bring it up in the spreadsheet. And if you guys like diesel, you like Toyota, make sure you're subscribed. I talk about, well, not diesel very much because we don't get them here. If you like Toyota, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon, smash the like button. And we're going to go back in time. I made a video last year around this time where Toyota had a new patent on what seems to be clean diesel. It doesn't specify diesel fuel explicitly, but it talked about clean burning combustion ignition engines that Toyota patented, but they also patented it here in the States. So I made a video on that. It was a lot of fun and gave us hope for diesel engines. Well, strange enough, if we go to Toyota's YouTube page, they have a video that just came up July 26, them explaining how a diesel engine works. And this is on the Toyota USA page. So is Toyota just trolling us, or could they actually be bringing a diesel technology here in the United States? In my lifetime, there's never been a diesel Toyota here in America. And I hope that changes, and the technology surrounding this could be very promising. So we're going back to Cars Guide in Australia. Land Cruiser Prado. So the Prado, the GX, and the 4Runner are very similar vehicles. The Hilux is also going hybrid. And they're saying they're going to have electrified diesels as well as electrified petrol engines. And this could be happening as early as 2023. And that should go by very quickly. You know, we're supposed to see a new 4Runner maybe by the end of next year or early 2023. So it could be coming with a new diesel hybrid. Now, Cars Guide is getting this information from Best Car Web, which I refer to quite a bit. They're a Japanese scoop site. They're pretty reliable. I would say they're right more times than not, but still take it with a grain of salt today. But the fact that this information is coming out right at the same time, just about as Toyota teases diesel or just talks about diesel on their YouTube page, makes you wonder, right? Now, Toyota's general manager of product planning and development in Australia, Rod Ferguson, tells Cars Guide the brand is actively considering diesel electric technology for its traditional diesel power range. So not just diesel, but diesel hybrids replacing the traditional diesels that we see worldwide. And Toyota does not want to alienate thousands and thousands of farmers and people who work away from the city, which is very important for the Land Cruiser crowd in Australia and other parts of the world as well, very desolate areas. They have diesel and that's it. So they need to have diesel engines, but Toyota also needs to meet all these oftentimes unrealistic expectations for CO2 emissions and other greenhouse gas emissions, that they need to get them down. And so what better way to do that through electrification of those diesel powertrains? Now, if we go to the petrol end, Toyota is said to be working on a 2.5 liter hybrid and a 3.5 liter, both equipped with a battery and electric motor. The smaller of the two options is expected to appear in the Land Cruiser Prado, at least internationally, but those engines appear to be petrol powered. And it's the first time I've heard of the 2.5 liter hybrid going into the Prado and that TNGA platform. I mean, it's totally doable. I mean, if it's somewhat similar in power output to, let's say, what we see in the Highlander hybrid or the Sienna hybrid, that's 245 horsepower. And those get really good fuel economy. The problem is that these hybrid setups have to use a traditional automatic transmission, like a 10-speed or an 8-speed, but we haven't seen an 8-speed or even heard of an 8-speed electrified automatic transmission. We know that there's a 10-speed coming in the Tundra, and we'll learn more about that hopefully in the near future. Gosh, it seems like that's running on forever with all the teasers with the Tundra. But this 2.5 liter hybrid's kind of a head scratcher. But if it does come, I'm expecting, I don't know, 240, 250 horsepower with a 10-speed automatic. Now, the 3.5 liter makes me think it's the 3.44 liter V35A FTS. That is the base engine in the Tundra, and they're mating that to a 10-speed automatic with an electric motor in between them for really good fuel economy, which we'll talk about later. Hearing some really promising things about this 3.5 liter twin turbo hybrid setup in the Tundra. But back to the diesel, it's likely to be installed in off-road four-wheel drive vehicles and commercial-based vehicles. When I think off-road four-wheel drive vehicles, I think 4Runner, I think Lexus GX, I think Tundra, Hilux. So it's those body-on-frame vehicles that come to mind. And when I think commercial-based vehicles, I think of the Hino products. So they maybe could work on something there, but also the Land Cruiser 70 series that is still used throughout the world. So that comes to mind for the commercial side of things. The new Hilux, like I said, is supposed to be around 2023 to 2024, and that should have a hybrid diesel. And the Land Cruiser 300, the Prado, as well as the Tundra. Guys, as well as the Tundra is the same platform as the Land Cruiser and the Lexus LX, which we'll talk more about the LX at the end here because we got some maybe first ever spy shots of the LX. I wanted to include it because this is a TNGA-F truck platform video. But yes, the Tundra is in the list or the queue for these diesel electric upgrades. So it doesn't mean it's coming, but there's still that chance. And I feel like the likelihood of diesels coming to America, whether it's in a Tundra or Tacoma, are better than they've ever been with this new hybrid technology. And the Prado and the Hilux are expected to share a new twin-turbo 2.8 liter clean diesel. We'll hit that up in the spreadsheet in a little bit, but that's where the juiciness ends here. Heading over to the spreadsheet, inline 4 diesel. This is that twin turbo we just talked about. I'm expecting 250 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque from it. If you hybridize it, I mean, the sky's the limit, but we could be seeing 300 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque and even better fuel economy. Now, this TNGA diesel is not on the market yet. Only the petrol twin-turbo V6 is in the Land Cruiser 300. It will eventually get this 3.3 liter twin-turbo V6 diesel with what we're hearing is 304 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. If we fast forward to the Toyota petrol hybrid, which we've heard some leaks on, we haven't got confirmation, but it seems to make sense. Around 480 horsepower combined. And when you add the massive torque from this electric motor, we're getting 642 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is also somewhere between 27 and 30 miles per gallon. That's the last I've heard on this new hybrid twin-turbo V6. That is incredible fuel economy and best in class for sure. Now, if we take that same electric motor and transmission and slam it at the end of this twin-turbo V6 diesel, and then we're getting 378 horsepower and over 670 pound-feet of torque. But what would be the purpose of this diesel hybrid, at least here in the United States, if the torque numbers are similar, 678 to 642, but the diesel gets outstripped massively by the 400 and what was it? What did we say? 480 horsepower compared to just 378 horsepower of the diesel. But I know a lot of people out there here in America that would gladly give up the twin turbo V6's extra 100 horsepower to have a more torquey and just have diesel. Diesel is so important for a lot of people out there who are on farms or just who want to roll coal on Teslas, which is it's not nice, guys. It's not nice, but it happens. There are people out there that want diesel for lots of different reasons. And could you imagine the fuel economy? So yes, it might be down on power, but this thing could easily be getting 35 miles per gallon in a Tundra twin turbo diesel hybrid. That is just insane, but it's totally possible. So let's just put 30 plus here for the fuel economy, miles per gallon that is, for the twin turbo V6 diesel hybrid setup. Now we're heading over to Land Cruiser updates. They've shared some really fun images for us. Possibly the first spy shot ever of the LX 600. And we see, this isn't a parking lot with a bunch of other Land Cruisers. We see these unique taillights, which look very similar to the brand new NX's taillights. but there's not much to see there. And if we look at the zoomed out version, of course you see more Land Cruisers, but that's all we got so far of the Land Cruiser, or should I say the LX 600. But this render by Land Cruiser updates shows how similar it looks, especially with the taillights, to the NX, and this will be one large hatch. We're not going to have the split tailgate because the Land Cruiser 300 does not have the split tailgate, but you can absolutely expect that LX 600 to have that diesel option worldwide as well. I'm expecting it to be called an LX 600D. We don't know 100% yet, but I'm expecting that to happen. It could come to America in best case scenario, but I doubt it. The best chance we have of getting those diesels here in America would be in like a hybrid Tundra or Tacoma, or maybe even 4Runner. But we have a lot of new images of the Land Cruiser from Toyota, and the reason is it's finally launched in Japan. Crazy things about this vehicle in Japan: you can't resell it until after a year. They don't want this to get in the hands of terrorists for the most part, it sounds like. There's also like a year-long wait list in Japan for the Land Cruiser 300, but they've given us a ton of images that we haven't seen before on this Land Cruiser. So we're going to have a rear locking differential. Now this is on a specific model, but you also have a front locker. So that's cool. I don't remember seeing that on the LX before. I only remember seeing center diff lock. So expect to see more locking customizations for the TNGA-F platform. So that's going to be potentially for the Tundra, Tacoma eventually, the Hilux, etc. You can see the crazy angles that this vehicle is capable of. It's quite incredible. Almost 45 degrees from both of those angles. Just silly. We got some really good images showing how the seats fold down in the vehicle. Flat floor finally. We don't have the jumper seats on the side. I know some people like that, but it's very inconvenient. It takes up a lot of cargo space as well. So it's nice that the third row folds flat. And they just gave us a lot of different variations here with the second row folded, and then it can also fold up, as we'll see here in a second. As you can see, this is just like the Land Cruiser 200, the LX 570. These seats fold forward or flip forward like this, but it's nice to also have these almost flat folding third row seats as well. Here's a really high definition image of the interior of the Land Cruiser. Yes, I expect this to stick around on the Land Cruiser for a while until they upgrade it. And it will be upgraded when we see this vehicle come to America as the LX 600. It's going to have the Lexus interface, the brand new software that we're going to see in the NX for the first time this fall. But we're also going to have it on the LX here in just a few months after the NX. That's what I'm hoping. We're expecting the new LX to come out potentially by the end of this year. There's a lot of different things we're hearing, potentially announcement in September, but that seems a little too early for me. And then also Lexus said that they have a surprise for us at the end of the year while standing in front of the LX in drapery. So that's what I think they mean. But yeah, expect all of this on the LX to be touchscreen, where on the Land Cruiser, buttons and knobs. And this is a fingerprint sensor behind there. The MID, this could be very different on the Lexus. This could be all digital on the Lexus LX. I feel like that's one way for it to differentiate itself. Engine start stop with the fingerprint scanner. That's pretty cool. You have Wi-Fi, which you can turn on and off. Off-road mode selection, multi-terrain selection, crawl control. That's all going to be right there. And then you see a CD player. So maybe this is giving us some hope to have some physical media, optical media, in the LX as well, but I don't know. They might not do that. You got the armrest cooler for your drinks. That's going to carry over from the current LX. And then the great lineage of the Land Cruiser. It's cool to see that. And here is the GR Sport Land Cruiser. Looks amazing. Just looks so mean. And I expect the Lexus lineup to kind of have this sort of aggression, at least in a package or two. The GX hopefully has it, and the LX will have it. And why would they have it? Because, well, we don't get the Prado or the Land Cruiser here, because it seems to think that the LX is good enough to fill the roles and the shoes of the Land Cruiser worldwide here stateside. So I do expect an F Sport Lexus LX to kind of fill the shoes of this GR Sport Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series, and I expect that sort of treatment to come for the Lexus GX when that gets redesigned as well on this TNJF platform. Wow, we covered a lot today. I don't even know what to say other than I'm keeping my fingers crossed for hybrid diesels coming to America. If that's the only diesel we can get here stateside, so be it. It's better than no diesels ever coming here. I'll see you guys down below. Do you want a diesel, Tundra, Tacoma, maybe even a Lexus LX here in the United States? What about a 4Runner as well? There are so many different ways that we could see diesels and diesel hybrids here stateside with crazy fuel economy, crazy torque numbers. But guys, I'll see you down below. Make sure you subscribe for more Toyota updates like this, Lexus updates as well. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.